Hey, what's going on? It's me, Mex, and I hope you're doing good. And today, I'll review Hajime no Ippo's latest chapter, which is 1388, so let's get into it. We carry over from the previous chapter and see that Vorg, Wally, Ippo, and Sendo are still doing road work outside. Wally isn't taking this training super serious, but he is trying to have fun, while Vorg doesn't agree with what Wally is doing. And we cut to Daniel and Dankichi, just watching them go off, and Dankichi notices that Mexico's hot climate and raised altitude isn't bothering Wally at all, but that the pressure should be a problem, since Ricardo Martinez has been used to this climate all his life. And this line must be a very self-aware representation of the Ippo fanbase, since chapter 1386 was just that. We then find out Ricardo Martinez chose to basically fight Wally before Sendo. Which gives me two thoughts, like, does he see the potential in Wally, and is he scared of Sendo? Which, the latter is obviously not the case. And I'm not sure if it was ever mentioned before, but apparently Daniel was there in person for Kamigawa vs. Anderson. And we are told that Ippo pushed Wally's growth in boxing more than anyone could have ever. And Dankichi and Daniel believe that there is at least a very small chance for Wally to win his match with Ricardo Martinez. We then cut back to the four-man roadwork crew, and Vorg is still trying to keep Wally focused. Vorg and Wally's relationship is summed up as them being like brothers, and I could see it, like Wally's a younger, more naive brother, and Vorg is a more responsible straight man, older brother. And even Sendo brings up how this climate is harder to run in than Japan. Unfortunately, we see that Sendo knows Wally won't beat Ricardo, and seeing how he was right about Ippo never fighting Miata makes me feel bad for Wally. But apparently Wally will lose because Ricardo is not only his opponent, and that's a big part of it, but another part is how Wally lacks bloodlust in the ring, just like Ippo, so I suppose Wally hasn't become a monster either. And we learn that even though plenty of fighters have had the bloodlust and drive to win, like Date, nobody has yet truly challenged Ricardo. But Ippo doesn't really believe in that, and truly believes that Wally can at least challenge Ricardo in a way that has never been done before. Establishing shot. And Wally's now face to face with Ricardo, and Vorg is jealous because of how much more press and commotion this match is having compared to his own. Wally is unfazed by Ricardo, and Ippo is surprised by this. Daniel is ready to get Wally home to rest. However, someone asks how Wally will do against Ricardo, and Ricardo responds with, he doesn't have a prediction, but the belt won't change hands. And it's either because he underestimates Wally, so Wally can truly surprise him, or Ricardo just knows that he's done this for a little too long. This shot actually had me cracking up, just because we see the dilemma Sendo sees himself in. Ricardo turns around to see Wally deliver the ultimate diss by sticking his tongue out towards Ricardo. And the fun, quirky Wally we have mostly ever seen becomes more sinister in appearance, and maybe he's been a monster all this time. And his line really reminds me of what Joe Yabuki said in Ashita no Joe. But man, this chapter is insane, and I can't wait for the next chapter to see how Wally will cope with his match with Ricardo just hours away. And on that note, this is Mex signing off. It's been real.